Hi, and welcome to the Reiki from the Farm podcast, brought to you by me, Pam Allen-LeBlanc from Hidden Brook Farm. I am a scientist, a businesswoman, and a licensed Reiki master teacher with the International Center for Reiki Training. Each week in this podcast, you'll be entertained as you learn about a wide variety of relevant Reiki topics, helping you become a more knowledgeable and effective Reiki practitioner. We caution you, though, this podcast may also dramatically improve your life, and we are so happy that you're here. On this week's podcast, I am talking with my students, Ting and Kenloch, about spreading Reiki in China. It's been such an honor to work with them as they've been becoming licensed Reiki master teachers, and maybe they can share a little bit of that journey with us as well. But welcome, Kenloch and Ting.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. It seemed like a big deal that we've been bringing these licensed classes to China, and your classes are very full, very popular. It's going really well. I'm so proud of the both of you and all that you're doing. So yeah, so glad to talk to you about that today. Before we go too far in, I just wanted to let you know about some of the classes that I have coming up, and Kenloch and Ting can let us know about theirs. We actually have for the first time ever, an animal communication class coming up in the Asian time zone, and it's going to be offered in Mandarin, Japanese, and English, and possibly Cantonese if we had quite a few people that needed that. And that class is July 12th to 14th, and we'd love to have you join us. It's a Friday evening and then through the weekend. It's probably, I don't know if I'll have an opportunity to offer that there again. I will offer the advanced class in the future as well, but would love to have you join us for that animal communication class. In July, I have classes in Campobello where we go whale watching the Tuesday evening after the level 1 and 2 class. So I have what we call a Reiki Membership Association class, which is 5 days in a row, level 1, 2, and master of Yusui Holy Fire Reiki. And that qualifies you to become a professional member of the Reiki Membership Association if you've been an affiliate member or if you studied with a non-licensed teacher. And so that's July 22nd to 26th. And then that following week, also a Monday to Friday, July 29th to August 2nd, we have Animal Reiki. Those are classes that if you can spend a little bit of extra time on the island, it's truly magical there. We see whales from the shore sometimes. There's miles of hiking trails. It's Eleanor and Franklin Roosevelt's summer home. So bring the family. There's a beautiful golf course that was originally designed by Franklin Roosevelt. You can go to Eleanor's Tea and learn all about her. You can visit a lighthouse, only at low tide though, because we have the highest tides in the world. So if that is appealing to you, those classes aren't full. I'd love to have you join us. And then August 12th to 16th in very early mornings in North America, late mornings in Europe, and evenings in Australia and Asia, I've got a Karuna Reiki class. I should mention that the Asian class is also offered in English, and it's a great time for anybody in Europe as well. It's very early mornings, though. If you're in North America, I know in the Atlantic time zone, I'm starting at 5 a.m., so it might be a little too early for you, but the Karuna class is not as early as that. And so you might decide to join us there. And then in August 19th to 23rd, Ting and Kenloch and I are going to offer an Animal Reiki Master class in an Asian time zone. And that's because I'm one of the authors of the Animal Reiki manuals and course. We wanted to offer that to some of our Asian students. In October, I have a full lineup of classes, level 1 and 2 masters, animal 1 and 2 and masters happening here at the farm. And those begin on October 21st, which just happens to be our election day here in Canada. But I will have already voted that's going to happen then. Guys, what do you have coming up for classes? And just when you talk about them, if you could mention the time zone.
I have the animal Reiki class tomorrow.
Oh, I don't, the podcast isn't
No,
going to come out till Sundays.
it's not, not enough time for this. Yeah.
Oh, and you don't have any other classes planned,
Oh,
but
I have. Let me check. I think I have. I
sure.
have some from the on August for the coming class for Reiki. Yeah, Reiki. Used to be Reiki 1, 2, 17, 18 August, and you Holy Easter on 24 to 26 August.
Okay, and are those online courses, Ting, or
Yes, online
they are?
courses because
Yeah,
I'm
and
in Australia. Yeah.
okay, I should have mentioned that my Campobello and classes here at the farm are both online and in person, so whatever works for people. Yeah, thank you, Ting and Kenloch. What have you got coming up?
So I think all of my July class are all booked up, so which is a good
Yes.
news.
Yes, it is. Your
Okay.
classes fill, don't they?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so in August in Hong Kong time zone, I'm teaching all hybrid class. Uh, the first weekend I will have Usui Reiki level 1, 2, and then I will have Animal Reiki level 1 and 2, which is from 5th of August to 7th of August. So if you are thinking joining Pam's Animal Reiki Masterclass, you can take this class beforehand. And also, I will also have a Animal Reiki, a Holy Fire Reiki Masterclass from 9th of August to 11th of August. So
Okay.
that's my August offering.
Okay. And I know you teach pretty regularly every month, and both of you do. People can also check your websites if those classes don't work for them and join you then. But it's just so exciting that we have these licensed classes in Asia. We also have Lucy Jin, who's teaching in Japan. We've had classes. We've got a teacher in Brazil now. Vidya Singh has been in India for quite some time. Sue Machado is in Brazil. It's just wonderful. And then we have Elena and Munikai in Japan. So we've got licensed classes just spreading all over the world. And that's really exciting. Before we go,
Lucy is teaching Korea. You said Japan.
I said Japan. Sorry, Lucy is in Korea. Thank you, Ting. Lena and Munikai are in Japan. Lucy is in Korea. Yeah, thank you. And I hope I said that we're offering our animal communication class in Korea and
Yeah,
in
and it's in
Korean.
Korean, not
I did
Japanese.
say Korea earlier. Okay, good. So, guys, before we go too much further, it sounds like I need a little bit of grounding and Reiki. So, let's go ahead and just bring our hands in Gasho. And while I'm talking about Ting and Kenloch's journeys today through the licensed teacher program and spreading Reiki into China and Hong Kong, what I'd like you to think about as we go through is just where can you spread Reiki, more Reiki in your life, whether that's through sessions or talking about it with your eyes, with Gyoshi Ho, teaching classes, where can you spread more Reiki in the world? The earth needs us right now. And so just bringing in your symbols and asking that question and just noticing any ideas or impressions that you receive. We invite the Reiki energy to guide us and heal us so that we may be of greater service to ourselves and to others. And we are so grateful to be a part of this great, big, wonderful Reiki family. Those of you who are part of our Reiki from the Farm family, part of the ICRT family, or any other Reiki family, We are all one. We welcome you. There is no division among us, even if we practice differently. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Namaste. Guys, thank you for being here today, and thank you for being my students. You guys have just kept me on my toes. You are so hardworking, and you are so popular, both of you. Kenloch, you do a lot of teaching in Hong Kong. You also have moved into mainland China and Taiwan. Ting, you teach in mainland China and Taiwan, and your classes are so full. I've got to meet some of your beautiful students. It's been an honor of my life to have had the privilege of assisting you in becoming licensed teachers and spreading this Reiki into your communities, into your countries. And it just, I don't know, it just, your students are always remarkable. I love them. We just did an introduction to the animal communication for Reiki practitioners class. And how many people showed up? 272 or something like that. People showed up for the introduction, which was amazing. And you guys are just killing it. You're doing such a great job. And I think when we all think about it, all of our nations, all of our countries need Reiki so much. And especially, we do an extra 1,000 hours of training at the licensed teacher level just to make sure that our classes are the best quality they can possibly be. And yeah, thank you for what you're doing. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Pam, too. I think the license program really pushed us to become a better teacher and then push us to become an authentic self.
Yeah, I do too. And I know I watched myself grow in that 1,000 hours of training. It's designed for that. It's designed for that growth and to William designed it originally to be able to say, to be able to refer. He couldn't see all of the students. His classes were full. And he thought, I'd like to refer them to other teachers, but how do I know that those other teachers are providing? He worked so hard on the quality of his classes. He thought, how do I ensure that those other teachers are providing the same quality of classes that I am? And he said, I know I can train some teachers to teach the same quality of class, and then I can refer them. And even now, he refers to any one of us. He talks about us all the time when people say, oh, I'm from here. Oh, we have a licensed teacher from there. Have you met him or her? She's great. And because he knows that going through that training program, we became such strong teachers. But I'm going to start with just a very basic question for each of you. I'm just going to ask, and I'll start with you, Kenloch, because you're at the top of my screen. Can you tell me a little bit about what initially brought you into Reiki and share a little bit about your background and journey?
So I think I started to get in touch with Reiki in my high school. So I just see people advertising their service on Instagram and saying that Reiki can enhance your academic behavior. So I think in my high school time, I'm being quite competitive with all the academic stuff. And also, I'm a little bit too stressed out and then
Mm,
also a little bit depressed. So I feel like I really need some healing. I didn't really question it because I think most of my friends will think, you're crazy, you're like doing some superstitious stuff. But then because I have a Buddhist background, and then the concept of spiritual healing is already introduced to me in my really young age. I didn't really question it. I just give it a try. And each time I receive a session, I can feel myself getting better. So emotionally getting better, and my grades are getting better. So
wow.
I have the trust in Reiki in really early stage. And then after I graduated from high school, I have few months before university, I was thinking, what should I do? So the first idea popping up is to start a spiritual business because I learned tarot card and astrology reading in a really early stage. So I feel like, maybe I can start a business like that. So I start to provide like tarot card reading and astrology reading. But then I realized one thing, that sometimes the tarot card and astrology reading, so it gives us some insight, but then we also need some healing to really implement those insights. So the idea of learning Reiki comes up. So I took a Reiki level 1 and 2 class with one of the professional member in my area. And then I feel like it just changed my life. So like I start to do healing on my clients and on myself, and I constantly seeing people transforming and growing. And that also pushed me to take religious studies in my university as well as my major, because I feel like when I'm going to explain some spiritual concept, I want to be more developed first. I need something inside to really share outside. I decided to took religious studies as my major. Reiki is not necessarily a religion, but then there's some religious idea, and there are also some text behind. Usui Sensei are really religious in Shintoism and Buddhism, and also maybe Christianity as well. Yeah, I think that just helped me to explain Reiki in a more systematic way, and then to have more religious text references on all the topics. And then I'm also running my business in my university time. So
Wow.
I
This is
started,
amazing that you started your business at 18, Kenloch, and
yeah.
wow.
I think I can be an example for people who are thinking that what should they become. If people are considering having spirituality as their business or as their career, the example here, and I'm here to show you that you can do that, and then you can always be better than me as well.
And you work and live at the moment in Hong Kong, a place with very expensive rents and so on, and you've managed that from the time that you were 18, and your business is very developed and involved and successful. Your students love you, and yeah, well done. And what drew you to the licensed teacher program, if you don't mind me asking?
So I just feel like becoming a more professional teacher when I'm affiliate member, because like initially I learned from a professional member.
Yeah,
So I feel like the teacher really demonstrate the level of professionalism, and I want to be like them as well.
right.
So I learned with William and also Colleen to become a professional member. And then William and Colleen showed me a higher level of professionalism. And
Yeah.
then it just makes me be thinking, oh, I want to be one of them. I want to be uh, an awesome teacher like them. And I
Yes.
really want to help people who would like to become a professional member and also a professional Reiki teacher as well. It just motivates me. And then I met Pam, and the idea of having a mentor is really brilliant, because you constantly having somebody watching your growth and also giving you advice, and then really get a lot of support here. I think becoming licensed teacher or joining a program is one of the most amazing thing in my life in
Mm.
current stage. Yeah.
I agree. It's been one of the most amazing things in mine. My mentor it's been so lovely mentoring you and Ting, and my mentor is Colleen. And I told her the other day, if it wasn't for you as my mentor in this program, I wouldn't have had the confidence to have gone into politics or write my book or do all of the things that I've been able to do lately. So yeah, thank you, Kenloch. I can't wait to see where you're going with this. It's- And Ting, you too, you were my first student that I got to mentor, and you feel like my daughter, you both feel like my children in a way, and I hope that doesn't sound patronizing, but okay. And I've just enjoyed so much watching your growth. Can you tell us a little bit about your history and background and what brought you to Reiki and what brought you to the LRMT program?
Oh, yes. My parents, they are doing nothing with the energy things and they're just normal. My father do architecture things. My mother, yes, also. So I grew up with architecture, history, culture things. So my major in my university and master all is in architecture. So I'm architecture designer. But
Wow.
I don't like that, my job. I don't like my career. So I was trying to work in a Japanese company, but I feels like, oh my God, it's hard for me.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me. And things happens after I go to Australia next year. My soul leading me to Australia. I at the beginning I just coming to my study because I studied 8 year for architecture design, and
Wow.
on the
8 years.
next year, yeah, I met some friends. They doing Reiki. I met some friends, and the next year when I come into Australia, and I found Reiki, and my friend, because she's a Reiki healer, so she healed me,
And
and I
when
was
you went
shocked.
to Australia, was it for school, Ting? Was it for architecture?
Yeah, also for
Studies?
architecture. Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
yeah, I met a lot of things in my life about Reiki. So the next year when I'm in Melbourne, my friend healed me. Yeah,
Wow.
I was thinking back. I was thinking if I didn't go to Melbourne, Australia, I wouldn't have chance to met Reiki, definitely. Because my family, they are logic mind. They don't believe any religious things and any energy things. Yeah. So the next year when I found Reiki, I was shocked because I couldn't believe why people can have hand with hot,
Mm-hmm.
but their hand is cold. They hear me, I can feel the energy.
Yeah.
I was shocked. So I have big curious about what's that. So I asked her, but she told me she can't teach me because she's not the master. I was no, oh, they have a tournament. And then I check. I said, oh my God, I want this. I want this. It's really different. It's like a really new thing. It's a new thing in my life. I can't believe that. So I want to do that because my friend healed me for that. So I checked and then I found SRT.
Mhm.
But at that time, it's about 2017, I only found a teacher in mainland, Chinese mainland, but it had face and the time she scheduled, I can't back because at that time I was on my class
Yes.
in Melbourne. So I missed all her class time. So I was thinking, okay, fine. I might find some other teacher first. So in the coming 3 years, I keep find different teacher to learn a Reiki many times, and then call it come. And I remember at the coming 2 years, for the first 2 years, I don't have any feeling about Reiki, any
Okay.
touch feeling. So I'm lack of confidence to heal myself and heal others. I think it's beginning years of 2020s. I've met a teacher. They her from Japan,
Yes.
sorry, Japan, and she is so kind. She teach me a lot, and then from that, I have confidence, and I start to healing people, and I also learn master from her with Yusui Reiki master, and I start teaching. But I know one day I want to take the ICRT class because that's my dream. And then at the middle of 2020, is COVID already come. I was planning to, okay, I don't know COVID will come to 2 or 3 years. I just thought maybe just 1 year. So I said, okay, I need to find some teacher and I won't join class because my city is just shut up. We can't do anything. We can't do we do nothing. So I was thinking, oh, maybe when COVID finish, I can find some teacher. So I was planning for that. So I come into SRT website to find the teacher, and I choose Australia, and I found Palm, and I talked to her with emails, and then she told me, you can join the class online. I was really shocked because from 2017 I tried to join this class, but I know it have to be in person. But in
Yeah.
Australia, they have no teacher in person I can join. So
No.
I went to the
I
class.
was the only one that went to Australia to teach in
So I
2018 and 19.
yeah, so I just seeking the class for 3 years until 2020, and I found Palm. And end of, I think I remember it's already end of 2020s. I'm so exciting because I can join the class online because especially on the COVID times. I take her class one time, the Usui Reiki 1, 2 Usui Reiki Master and the Karuna class and the Animal Reiki class. Yeah, I remember I spent about maybe 1.5 months or 2 months with Pamela. Yeah.
You did all of my classes. You did animal communication too, and
I'm
all
so
of them.
excited. I waited to class for 3 years and I found it. Yeah. Because I think SRT is it's really professional group for people who want to learn Reiki. Yeah. So that's my dream. Yeah.
I love it. And then when you joined the program, I got to be your mentor, and we were
Yeah.
both so excited. And I didn't get to meet you until 2022 when I went
Yeah.
to,
I
yeah,
yeah. I
or
become they approve me from 2022. Yeah.
2020. No, I didn't get to meet you in person until I came to
Oh
Australia in
yes. Yeah.
2023. Last year when I was
23.
there to teach,
Yeah.
we met in person for the first time, and it was
Yeah, you'll teach in Canberra. And
yep,
yeah, I think it's March 2023.
yep,
March. Yeah.
it was, and it was so exciting.
Yeah, I'm so exciting. Yeah. Yeah. I
I
will
love
cry,
it.
honestly, for
And
that time.
you, just like Kenloch Ting, you have such great students. And I know Yvonne's probably listening, so I'm going to say hello to her. And a lot of your other students as well. They're so lovely. I've enjoyed so much with both of you doing our co-teaches together and meeting them. And yeah. And Ting, you did something else. You took my Reiki Business Book, which is
Yes.
actually in the sun right now.
Phase one is really popular.
Thank you. You
Really, really
translated it
welcome.
into Mandarin. And
Yeah.
I'm going to commit to you that by the time this podcast goes live on Sunday, the ebook at least is
Yeah.
going to be available to everyone through Amazon and all of that. And then there's a glitch with the cover that I haven't been able to overcome with my publisher, just something I can't figure out. I'll still keep working on that so that it's available. But Ting, you actually had some of the books printed. That was such a huge task. You translated that whole thing to Mandarin. What motivated you to do that? And you've taught a class with the book. What motivated you to do that? And how did that class go?
First, because your book is a Reiki business book. A lot of Reiki people, healer, they don't have much business mind.
Mhm.
So I think it's really good for them to open their mind, to inspire them about how to run their business. And so yeah, after I translate this book and I make the book club book club for the people who want to join. Yeah, now still have I now it's become record, but still have people register, and everyone people who reading this book or join my record for the book club, they just said, oh my god, it's really good for them to inspire them, because you have a lot of meditation Reiki session for them to inspire them how to run their own way and
Yeah.
with wisdom, Reiki wisdom to inspire them a lot. So I think this book is really good, and I think it's necessary for the people who want to have their Reiki business.
Oh,
That's
thank
good
you.
for them. Yeah.
I'm so excited that it's available in China now in Mandarin. And like I said, I am going to get the ebook out there today. And and hopefully I can figure out that whatever that computer glitch is that we're having with the cover. Because the book is all there. Ting did all the work. We've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb, and it's super exciting. And so I'm so glad that your students are enjoying it. Some of the other licensed teachers, I've actually have had me send them cartons of the physical book, like 24 books, and they've done like you, Ting, a book club, and just helped their masters through it, go chapter by chapter, and maybe meet once a month or something. And you met daily, so you guys really went through that book because you did it while you were in China. And yeah, thank you for doing that. I so appreciate it.
Oh, and they appreciate you also. I
Oh,
appreciate you also because yeah, you're like the light, just to leader them to become better Reiki healer. I appreciate it so much.
oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. You guys, anybody watching, you see why I love these guys. I got, I always tell my students, I say, you know what, guys, I always get the best students. So my hope for you as a Reiki master is that you'll get the second best students because I'm sorry, I get the best. And I love all of our licensed teachers, but I really lucked out in the getting to mentor you guys. Now, listen, this is so interesting. Ting, you live in Australia, and yet you teach in mainland China. At first, of course, it was all online, but now you sometimes travel to mainland China and teach in person as well. Kenloch, you're in Hong Kong, but you're soon going to be moving to Australia, and yet you'll still be teaching in Hong Kong and mainland China. How, tell me how that works for you guys, how that's going to work.
Yeah. So my plan is to start teaching more online class because I realized that there are actually lots of people who speak Cantonese or who speak Mandarin all around the world, and they're not really in Hong Kong or in China.
Right.
So I think my goal is or aspiration is to get contact with them, to have them in my class, and then to start teaching classes in different Chinese language online. So people all around the world who speak those language can have a Reiki teacher to teach them.
Yeah.
And then also, I think I'm going to travel back and forth from Australia to Hong Kong, maybe once or twice a year.
Mhm.
So if people who are thinking taking face-to-face classes, they will have option to take face-to-face class with me. And then for those who already took my online class, and if they feel like to have a second experience, but it's an in-person experience, I'll give them discount to be in my face-to-face class. So to still get contacted with the Hong Kong Reiki community and also the world Reiki community. Yeah, so that's my approach now. Yeah,
Yeah.
but of course I'm open for more changes and improvement.
Yeah. And suggestions, but that sounds like it'll work fine. And you know what, Ting, that's what you've been doing more or less, and that's been working for you. Can you tell us how you've managed that?
I have much changing also, but I'm different, totally converse because I was running Reiki online, teaching Reiki class online for the past 3 years. Oh no, yeah, 3 or 4 years. And from end of last year, I start to teach in mainland, and yeah, last November is first time, and this year, May of this year is the second time. Yeah, and so my plan is to open more class, but it's a face-to-face and in person and online together, hybrid class.
Hybrid class.
So yeah, my plan is to try more and more time to teaching some in person because I found in person also have some different face online. The people they can deepen contact each other, and the energy is yeah it's a little bit different, but they can have their choice to join online or in person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my plan is to open more and more in-person class.
And I love usually when you have an in-person class, you'll send me a photo and everybody is just
Yeah.
glowing. Everybody looks so happy. You've got the screen there, you've got everybody online, and you're
Yes.
set up really beautifully.
Yeah, Chinese mainland. I found that there are much humongous people. They love Reiki. I got 26 people for Reiki 1-2 on Beijing in Beijing this May. Yeah.
Unreal. I know.
I
Yeah. You
it's
both have great
16 in person and 9 or 10 online.
online.
Yeah, I was shocked
Unreal.
also.
You're
I'm
teaching.
nervous.
I don't
I
often
think
get
I'm more
classes
nervous,
that big.
honestly. Oh, yeah.
No, you're doing amazing work. And I I remember that our first class together, Ting, there were protests happening around COVID in China, and you and I were both saying, oh no, this is stressful and this could be. And so we both sent Reiki and it all worked out beautifully and peacefully. And we couldn't help but think that just the fact that we were teaching that lovely Reiki class at that time may have contributed to the peaceful resolution of the difficulties for people. So it's amazing what we get to do, isn't it?
Yeah, and I really appreciate for the students because Chinese speak big. They fly to different area to just stay me and join the in-person class. It's miracle, I think.
Oh, amazing. You're doing such a great job, both of you, with your businesses, with your practices, and spreading Reiki. And tell me though, and Kenloch, I'll start with you and then go to Ting. Are there any unique challenges that you come across culturally or whatever when you are working to spread Reiki in Hong Kong, in mainland China, in Taiwan?
I think in Hong Kong or China, Taiwan, like there's a group of people, they put so many emphasis on the one word called tradition, like
Mhm.
being
Yeah.
Traditional. Yeah.
yeah. That makes, say, some of the teacher claim that their Reiki practices are the most authentic or the most orthodox or the most traditional. So I think that kind of creates confusion, even to myself. Like when I first learned Reiki, because I learned from a ICLT professional member, so it's a Western group. So I
Yeah.
think, am I learning something that are not authentic, or because that person is not Asian? No, the training is not from Asian training or the Japanese training. Is it really authentic like that? I think people in my area have this kind of confusion as well. But then whenever my student tell me that they have this kind of confusion, I think it's the best timing to explain the evolving essence on Reiki.
Right.
Because Wusui Sensei taught Reiki and passed on. He gave each of his students, and he gives Hayashi like a mission is to continuously developing Reiki. So I think his aspiration is not that to have all of us, all the Reiki students, to practice the same style of what he was doing. He wanted us to like really develop our style and then to uh develop this energy. So like I just tell them like in the history how the Reiki is evolving. And then it's very hard to tell which is traditional because the essence of it is growing and evolving all the time. And then I think it's also a very good timing to explain the no competition idea, a non-competition idea of
Oh,
ICRT. Yeah, like all the Reiki teacher are striving to provide the good for humanity and also to help people. And then it's not cool just to say I'm the most orthodox one and then the rest are not good. There's one sentence I really got touched when I took a Japanese Reiki class from another teacher. Um, so from Hyakuten Inamoto, he's also one of the teacher of William as well. And then he said, so the most important thing of Reiki is how many love that you give. It's not how traditional you are, it's how many love that you promote and share to the world. So
love
that
it.
I think that kind of heals me as well because I had that doubt and I believe like people around me had that doubt as well. So whenever they have this kind of confusion, I can just repeat this quote to them and then like it's really powerful.
It is, and it makes me, I love that. And I think about when you talk about the evolution, about how Yusui Sensei himself said that we should be constantly working to develop both the quality and the quantity of Reiki energy that we work with. And so I guess that evolvement has been part of it. And I'm like you, I've always said that every there are 8 billion people on the planet, and every one of them could use Reiki classes and sessions. So there are enough people for all of the Reiki teachers and masters out there. And it's lovely that there are different styles because somebody might be drawn at a particular time to one style more than the other. And it's nice that style is there for them. And then maybe at another time they're drawn over to a different style, and that's fine. It's all part of our evolvement, our journey, right?
Yeah, and it's the diversity makes Reiki grow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. Yeah, thank you, Kenloch. And I love Kenloch's classes because with his background in religious studies, he's always got a beautiful context and can explain things in a way that everyone can really understand, no matter what our diverse spiritual or religious backgrounds. So, what about you, Ting? What do you find? Were there any unique challenges for you in developing? Because you were the first licensed teacher into mainland China. And was there
Hmm.
anything that you had to overcome?
I
We had to
was thinking about
overcome
this.
language for a while. What's that?
I was thinking about I was thinking about the topic because I did feel have some challenge, but I don't think it's from Ricky. It's from myself because all the challenge because usually is because we against ourselves. So for this coming years, 1 or 2 years, I feels like the gains are just gone because I healed myself, and I want to share is because I found I become more and more grateful for the people, my teacher, my student, and I found when you become grateful, all the against they just gone by themselves. So I think I didn't face any against, but yeah, the revolution is a thing. Traditional people sometimes talking about that, but yeah, but at the beginning of this year, I make the interview with William. He taught the things, so I don't match some people who just asking about this. They just truly trust SRT. They don't compare the traditional or Western way. I think maybe because I just be grateful. So they just choose me and without doubt. Yeah. I want to share the grateful is really good. Just a pure heart grateful.
That
And
is,
all that is just gone.
that is so beautiful and important, Ting, isn't it? That just so many times the challenges that we do face when we're ready to get a business out there, when we're ready to start teaching, it's all our own insecurities, our own concerns. And once we use Reiki to heal those, people can feel it. There's an energetic, people can feel our frequency. And so I think what you're saying is the most important thing we can do as a teacher and in our businesses is just work on ourselves, continue to raise our frequency, and then the people will find us who need us. And it is important to do a bit of marketing to help them find us, but that's brilliant.
Yeah. And also we need to grateful all the teacher, even it's not not in SRT
Yeah,
or even
every
not.
lineage.
Yeah, because uh, they just spirit share the love and just helping people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just ask them if someone asks me about this kind of questions, I just or maybe find some teacher choose me or choose other. I just say okay, follow your heart. Every teacher is excellent. They
Yeah.
are light. They share love. So just find the one suitable for you because you can have some growth up from them. Follow your soul. That's how.
I love
And
that.
I found why become this thinking and share this energy. I have more and more people coming.
It's
And
interesting, isn't it? I tell people too, like, these are when my classes are, and then sometimes people say, oh, those dates don't work for me. And I'm like, maybe there's another teacher who would work better, or maybe that's when who you're supposed to go to. And there's just no attachment, is there?
yeah, and also we're thankful all the Reiki master because they share Reiki,
Mhm.
like more makes the world more and more people can use Reiki. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what I want to share is because just become more and more grateful and everything just fixed.
gratitude.
You feel happiness also. I feel happiness every time when I teaching, when I doing something, I feel happiness because we're grateful. You have happiness and you
Well,
bring happiness to others.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right? That is such great advice, Ting. And you're such an excellent teacher. I've enjoyed working with you, and we worked through some language challenges at first. You had to translate the manuals in order to have them available for people and the forms and things like that. And so there was a lot of work to do, and Kenloch, you've been working on Cantonese manuals and just providing that. And so you guys have to do a little bit more work than the rest of us. And I appreciate that too. So yeah, gratitude. What a great message, Ting.
We're all wonderful.
We are. Everyone
Yeah,
studying
everyone is
Reiki. And I tell people that all the time. I've taught you guys so well. Actually, you guys are just
wonderful.
amazing students. But I tell people that all the time. They'll talk about this lineage or that one. And like you, I just say, just follow your heart. Go to the one that feels right for you. It's going to be fine. And it always works out. People find exactly the right teachers, the right classes. You guys have been pioneers, though, also, not just with Reiki, bringing Reiki into China and Hong Kong and Taiwan, but also, and maybe you'll be also teaching it in Australia. Have you guys given that any thought? Will you be teaching some classes together? You're both going to be in Melbourne. I'd love to come over and teach a class with you in Melbourne sometime. That would
We
be
should all do a
Fantastic.
class, like
What's
three of
that?
us. We should all do a class, three of us.
Let's do that. Let's do that next year.
Manifesting.
Yeah, I'd love that. Let's teach a class in Melbourne, the three of us. Wouldn't that be amazing? What would
Yes.
three licensed teachers be like? That would be incredible. I think we should make that a plan. But you've been pioneers with this, but you've also been spreading our ICRT animal Reiki. And can you tell us a little bit about how that's going?
I think
I
people
want
just
to.
really
Oh,
love.
okay. Come on first. No, you first. You first.
Okay. I think people just love that. Because the healing is not just on animal, and they also is for themselves as well. So living in Hong Kong, it just makes it really disconnect with the nature. We living in a big metropolis city, like we don't really have nature around us. And then I think having the animal Reiki just really help people to get in touch with the nature again with Reiki. And then people are telling me that after animal Reiki, they are really they try to spend more time in the nature. And also, even if they don't, by using the symbol or the healing energy, it already makes them feel like to realign with the earth again. Yeah, it's just wonderful for people like in Hong Kong to have animal Reiki. And then also having a pet is quite normal here. So that people just constantly finding ways to have connection, like deeper connection with the animal. So the animal Reiki and animal communication is really popular here. And it's just wonderful to having one more system to share because it's more specific and then there are more skills and tools that we can use on animal. And then, yeah, I think I really appreciate the system.
I love that. And that is probably the thing that surprised us the most is how much the humans who took the class healed. And there was a tremendous amount of healing for the humans. And yeah, it was surprising, but it was lovely. It was wonderful. And one of the things I love when we teach online, so I'll be teaching with you guys, or I guess I'll be teaching, you guys will teach the level 1 and 2 class, and I'll teach a master class. I just didn't have time to teach both. But one of the things that's going to be neat is when you have an online class with Animal Reiki, the animals can participate and get the attunements too if they want. And so I'm so excited that some of the animals can join us.
Yeah. And also Animal Reiki is really a special system for me because it's because of myself took Animal Reiki class with Jerry Mictus. That
Yes.
makes me like to join license program as well.
That
and
was
it
the
makes me want to
class.
translate. Yeah, because because I feel like the system is really loving. The word by reading the manual, you already get the healing, and then you just feel really get touched. It just makes me want to become one of.
Well, I'm grateful to Jerry and I'm grateful to Animal Reiki that it brought you to us, Kenloch, because you're a great addition to our organization for sure. What about you, Ting? What have you found with Animal Reiki?
Oh my God, because it's true story to share. At first, I remember I was doing the public sharing about animal Reiki, and I connect the land animal, all the whole land, and I cry because I see the pictures like the people kill the animals, and they become homeless and die. So I cry, and every time when I open Reiki animal Reiki 1 2 class, most of students cry also. They touched a lot. Yeah, because I feel the energy just choosing someone and someone choosing the animal Reiki energy also, because some people have misunderstanding. They think animal Reiki is for animal, but I found animal Reiki is both important to animal and human, because human is one of the animal kingdom, and animal Reiki I feels like they more focus on uh the different and the justice, and yeah, people sometimes have some thinking need to fix. They think they own the nature, they own the earth, and yeah, this really animal Reiki is full of love, so they healed people a lot. And I found the people who join my Reiki animal Reiki class, they usually have more love. They usually have animal. Some of them they sacrifice themselves a lot to to survive, helping the people, helping the animals. I remember I have the class have 3 people, and the 3 people all from Beijing. And after that, they 3 of them they become a small group, and they just find the people, find animals who need help, and they say, "Oh my God, they have one, help her, help this one," and they just the 3 of them have good relation also. Like your cat, I'm mom with your cat, and I'm father with your cat, and they are really good at them. So I found animal Reiki is more loved and different frequency energy with Yusui.
Yes.
And yeah, and I'm touched a lot. I think the people need animal Reiki also. Yeah. So when they know the true means of animal Reiki and what the animal Reiki wants sharing, they will know how good this Reiki is.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, Ting. Like even as we created Animal Reiki, initially we thought we were doing it for the animals, and the energy kept saying, and people are animals. And we thought we were just going to be using the Usui Reiki that we already were using with animals. And we were very surprised to find that it had its own frequency. But probably the thing that surprised both Colleen and I the most as we started to teach it, and I haven't talked with Robin and Sue about this, but I'm sure they found the same thing, is that how much it healed the people. And there's probably my favorite phrase in Animal Reiki. It was a meditation that Colleen did with the earth. And she had said to the earth, "What must you think of us?" And the earth and the animals said, "You're beautiful. And if you could only see yourselves the way that we see you, if you could only recognize your beauty, you would create your life from that place. It's because you believe yourselves to be flawed and destructive that you create your lives from that place. So if you could just realize how beautiful you are, just understand your beauty. If you could see yourselves like we see you, that's where you would create your lives from." And that touched me so deeply, that phrase. And I try to remember it. It's in our culture, it's very common to pick out the flaws and to think of the things you did wrong. and you might have done 98 things beautifully and 2 things less than perfectly. And it's important to focus on the 98 things, not the 2. And I don't know, it's a wonderful thing. I'm so glad that it is being received so well in Asia and in China. And do you guys have any memorable experiences or any advice for anybody who's thinking of studying or teaching animal Reiki?
So I remember I taught a full online class with animal Reiki. Like when we start practicing, I didn't really divide my student into a breakout room because I want to have more assistant at the very first.
Sure.
Like when they start to send Reiki, suddenly they didn't really ask the animal to come into the room, but when they start sending Reiki, somehow my full screen is full of animal. It's all cats and then it's all dogs. It just makes me feel like, oh, it's just lovely. Isn't that
Right.
just lovely?
I've had that. As soon as we start doing the energy experiences, the animals are scratching at the door and trying to get in the room, and they feel
Yeah,
it. They react to it, don't they?
yeah.
Yes.
One of the most memorable experience. And then we just feel like receiving, when we send healing to the animal, we're also receiving the animal Reiki energy because the Reiki pass through us to the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we really retrieve our animal essence as a human.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Kenloch. Thank you. How about you, Ting? Is there anything that stands out or any advice that you would have for anyone?
I honestly I don't have much, but I have class experience is really different. I remember I was taught 9 or 10 people, and each of them had different animal. So when we're showing on the picture, like this one has bird, this one has snake, this one, everyone is different. And I feel, oh my God, we're lucky to have the connection with different animals because in our normal life, we don't have 10 kinds of different animal you can receive in Reiki and send Reiki at the same time.
That
So
is
when we take picture, everyone, the animal is different. That's why,
wow.
yeah,
It's like a
I think
Noah's
it's
Ark in
different
your Reiki
experience.
class.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, for people who are listening, who are thinking about their own regions of the world, and they might be in Canada or the United States, where there is, I am the only licensed teacher in Canada. So please, if you're thinking of becoming a licensed teacher in Canada, reach out because we'd love to have more. But regardless, for people who are just thinking of spreading Reiki, whether they're a licensed teacher, a professional member, affiliate member, it doesn't matter. Spreading Reiki is the really important thing. So if there are listeners who are thinking of starting to teach classes or starting to do sessions or starting to spread Reiki in some way in their own region, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them? And Kenlock, I'll start with you.
I would really say be yourself. Just be
Yes.
yourself. Be your authentic self because you are the most powerful promotion to the whole world. You are the business itself. The more you maintain your energy and the more that you take care of yourself, be yourself, you will become like a really strong magnet that can attract the student that are aligned with you. And then also, I have students who also have the passion they would like to teach, but they always being like a little bit doubtful to themselves because they feel like they don't have experience at all. But then the thing is, if you're not going to try, you're not going to have experience, then you're not going to teach. So this is not working at all. So yeah, I think the first step is really important because you don't really have to worry about you don't have experience at all, or then you don't really have enough year of time to study Reiki or anything. Because I think you will always attract the most aligned student. If you start to teach in your earlier stage, you will also attract students who needs that frequency as well. So yeah, don't worry about that. And then another worry from my student very often is about social media. So they feel like their social media is not working, and then the social media is not giving them enough exposure and reach. And I would say, I think when it comes to spiritual business, of course, social media plays a certain level of important role, but I don't think it's that important. I
No.
think it's your energy attracting students.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about having alignment with yourself so that to attract people who have alignment with you as well. And that's the most important thing. Really try not to get as many anxiety from social media. Transform those emphasis to yourself, like to start to work on yourself, start to do more healing on yourself, and then and see what you can offer to the world. I think that's the most important thing.
That's beautiful. And William Rand said that. And I tell people, if you are trying to think of your ideal client, it's you when you discovered Reiki. Think about you when Reiki came into your life. Think about the struggles that you were having and what Reiki did for you. Those are the people that you want to reach, are people that are like you. Because, so for instance, in my classes are full of empaths because it was my empathy that caused health issues for me, and that's really what I had to overcome. My classes are filled with animal lovers because I'm an animal lover, and so you'll draw the people that are like you, Kenloch. You're right. So be authentic, be yourself. And William Rand once said that everybody has angels and guides, whether we're aware of them or acknowledge them or not. And those angels and guides say, oh, my student Kenloch, this is where he is right now, and this is the challenge that he's facing. I'm going to drop him into Pam's class because she's figured out how to overcome that challenge. And so he talk about that our guides actually do some of this maneuvering for us. Or I'm going to make her his mentor because they've had a lot of the same challenges. And I think that's really unique in Reiki. And even still, social media is great. Word of mouth is always still going to be the major. I'm a marketer, but I don't spend a lot of money on marketing because word of mouth is your best bet. Yeah. What about you, Ting? What advice would you give people?
First, I agree with you and Kenloch said, yeah, being your authentic self and be yourself. Yeah, because I think just focus on yourself and be what truly you are and sharing what you truly want to share and find a way. Because when you become a self, you will find a way what you truly want to share about Reiki. And everyone is unique, everyone is miracle. So when you find yourself, that means you will make miracle in your Reiki career. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
I
love
agree with yeah. And for some techniques part, I was thinking how I expand my Reiki business. First, do a lot of practice, teach more and more class because you can have experience from the class. Every region, the frequency, the energy is a little bit different. So when you teach more and more, you will find it. And when you find it, you will find some way to better, to more suitable for this area. That's my
it.
experience.
Every
Yeah.
region is a little different.
Yeah. I was talk with Canada also. We found the mainland, even in China, the mainland and Hong Kong, the students also the energy is a little bit different. So you need to find a way to suitable for them. Yeah. And work hard. You need to find it, like you said, social media something. You need to find the way because all the success business, all the success things should be work hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do all work hard actually. That is one thing that the three of us have in common. We're very dedicated to getting Reiki out there. And all of it, we don't mind working hard, do we? We sometimes work a little too
Really diligent. You guys are the most diligent Reiki people I've met in my life.
It's true. And to be a licensed teacher, to get through the 1,000 hours of training, like you do have to be organized, you have to be diligent, and you have to work on yourself because if you have any areas of weakness, they come up to be healed. And so we work through that. So yeah, those are some great pieces of advice, you guys. Just looking forward, what do you two see for the future of Reiki in Hong Kong and mainland China and beyond? And how do you guys plan to keep contributing to the growth of Reiki in these regions and this beautiful practice? What are your future plans?
There's actually lots of Hong Kong people immigrating somewhere else, like to UK, to Canada, and also Australia. I think it would be amazing to really get connected with them and then to teach a license class in Cantonese.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of my aspiration in future. And then also really interested to get in touch with people in Taiwan because I can speak Mandarin and I can speak their dialect, the Taiwanese dialect as well. I feel like really connected to the people there. And then recently I have students who like to flew from Taiwan to Hong Kong to take my class. And I was like, maybe it's a sign. It's a sign to start developing. So there's also like my future plan. And then I'll just send the intention out and see how the universe and Reiki guide me through the whole process.
Yeah, that's a very good way to do it. And what about you, Ting?
Spread. Okay, I was thinking something before, but I forgot. Uh,
Sorry, just looking at your future plans and
future plan.
what for as Reiki spreads in.
Oh, I want to. Yeah, I was talking to Palm because they have lots of Chinese out there because of all we focus on the people all over the world. Yeah, many people they are Chinese, but they live in different country, and also we also can focus on some they don't speak Chinese. Also, is also they can be our student. And I for the Chinese area, I want to try my best to have more and more LMT because for myself, I don't have enough time and for spread Reiki, just myself because I just myself. So if more and more LMT coming, that means more and more people they have a channel, they have a chance to know SRT, know Holy Fire, Usui Reiki. So I want to helping assist, not helping, assist them to become LMT. Maybe
Amazing.
become profession, then they can share Reiki more profession. Yeah, that's my aim.
Is to bring more licensed teachers and mine too. I keep saying I'd like to have more in Canada, more in China, more all over the world because there's something about being part of a Reiki family, isn't there? And I don't know about you guys, but when I became part of the LRMT, everybody was so welcoming and they're such high vibration people that it just was so lovely to become part of that family. And I know I want to invite anybody listening, if you'd like to become part of our Reiki from the Farm family, we have a free monthly online Reiki share. I'd love to have you. I think you guys, Kenloch and Ting, have regular Reiki shares as well that people could register for. So just go on to our websites. I know if you sign up for my newsletter, you'll also get an invitation the day before the Reiki share. And yeah.
I share your website and podcast on each of my class.
Oh, is that right? You
Actually,
too.
yeah. And people are like shocked. Wow, there's so many podcasts they did.
Yeah, so many.
I have done hundreds of podcasts at this point, and yeah,
Oh.
it's something that I just truly love. And it's so interesting. The Reiki energy guided me and it said that I was to do weekly podcasts. And that was a lot of work, you guys, to get podcasts ready every week. But that was what the energy encouraged. So I did it and I interviewed so many interesting people. And my belief was that every one of us has a perspective and every one of us also has a connection to God or source. And so if we can share, if we can all learn what each other's perspective is, we get a more complete picture a more complete understanding of Source or God. So that was the whole inspiration for the podcasts, and to also bring us together as a group as well, and to know that we're supported, and that even as you're listening to this podcast, there are probably 30 or 40 other people on the planet listening at the exact same time, or maybe even more. And so it's that opportunity to be together collectively as a group and to connect each week. Recently, when things got busy with politics, the energy said, okay, you can go back to every 2 weeks now. And I must admit, it's much easier. But I realized that the reason that I had to do weekly for over a year, for over 2 years, was so that I could get more comfortable not having everything planned out, and more comfortable working on the fly, because I couldn't, doing a podcast every week, I couldn't have everything completely planned out or scripted, and I had to become a more comfortable public speaker. Now that I'm entering into politics, that's very useful. So it's so funny how it all works out. Thank you guys for sharing that. Well, guys, I'd like to share just a short meditation now that will help you spread Reiki in your corner of the world. And I know you may be able to stay till the end, or you may not, Ting. But this is just going to help you focus on how you can spread more Reiki in your part of the world. So I'm going to invite everybody to find a comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, and you can sit or lie down and close your eyes. If you're driving, hit pause. This meditation might go deep, and we don't want you to get in any trouble. I'm just going to invite you to bring your hands into Gasho once more. Take a deep breath in, just filling your lungs completely. And then exhaling, just letting go of any stress or tension that you might not have been aware of. Take another deep breath in, just feeling the peace and tranquility of Reiki, of this moment in time, our time together. And once again, as you exhale, this time exhale any stress or any worries. Place your hands comfortably on your body now, and just keep breathing deeply, comfortably. Just noticing that with each breath, you become more relaxed. And I invite you to imagine that a beautiful, warm light of Reiki surrounds you. And this Reiki energy fills you with a sense of calm and peace. This light of Reiki is always available to you. It's always there to guide and support you. And once again, we say, please guide me and heal me, so that I may be of greater service to myself and to others. Now, I invite you to imagine that you're in a beautiful, serene, natural setting. I invite you to choose your favorite place. It might be a forest, a meadow, the ocean, wherever you feel the most connected and at peace. And this might be someplace you go to regularly. Just imagine that you're there. And as you imagine being in this beautiful place, feel the earth beneath your feet grounding you, the sky above opening you to infinite possibilities. And as you stand here, just bring your awareness into your heart. Feel your heartbeat. This is the center of your love, your compassion. It's also the source of your Reiki energy. All of our Reiki energy moves through our heart. Just visualize the Reiki energy as a radiant golden light in your heart. And with each breath, Notice that golden light getting stronger, brighter, moving throughout your entire body, filling you with warmth and love and healing. As you allow this light to grow, I invite you to recognize that you're a beacon of Reiki and that this energy is ready to be shared now. And so I invite you to think about your community and the world around you. Think about some of the people and animals and places that could benefit from the healing power of Reiki. Just picturing them clearly in your mind. And imagine that golden light of your heart reaching out and surrounding them. Then I invite you to ask yourself, how can I most effectively spread more Reiki in my part of the world? And just trust the first thoughts and feelings that come to you. These are the messages from your higher self. These are guiding you toward your path. It might be teaching, offering healing sessions. It might be writing about your experiences, creating art or poetry or music, using Reiki with your voice, like I do each couple of weeks, or simply sharing your Reiki energy with those around you. And so just ask yourself once more, and we'll stay for a few moments in silence so that you can hear the answers. How can I spread more Reiki in my community? And just listen. Just take a moment now to sit with these insights, and as Ting suggested, just move into gratitude for the guidance you've received and for the opportunities that you know are ahead of you. Understand that you have the power and the wisdom to make a difference and to spread Reiki's light and love wherever you go. Whenever you feel ready, I invite you to bring your awareness back to your breath. Just noticing the rise and fall of your breath, the air entering and leaving your lungs. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. Slowly open your eyes. Feel the earth beneath you. And just take one final deep breath in, and as you exhale, if you haven't already, open your eyes, but bring back with you the clarity and peace of our meditation today. You are a vessel of Reiki energy. Trust yourself. Trust in your ability to spread this beautiful light in whatever way works best for you. And please know that however you decide to do this, you are making a huge difference in the world. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. I want to take a moment to say thank you to Ting and Kenloch as well for taking time out of their schedules to be here. We appreciate you. Namaste.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Tang.
Thank you, Kenloch.
We're such a great family. Love to you
I
all.
do that now.